Hello everyone, it is Pal Ponder on Weather coming at you with another update. In this video, we're going to talk about kind of a 1-2 punch this week with a very strong cold front on Thursday, and then another stronger even Arctic front that's coming in next week that potentially bring record cold temperatures and yes, even a freeze all the way down to Florida. And at the end of the video, we'll touch on an update on winter. So stay tuned to that. So before we do get started, if you do like weather related content, please subscribe to my channel, as I will post about 5 videos a week to keep you updated. So that definitely fuels my passion to bring you the weather. So let's get started. So here's the overall temperature anomaly coming up on Thursday, and these temperatures are going to be falling throughout the day. So 10, 15, 20 plus degrees below normal temperatures for the south and central part of the United States coming in on Thursday, and this cold air will plunge all the way down into the deep south. This is not even the Arctic front either. But on Friday, these are high temperatures. So you can see 30s all the way in Montana and Wyoming and Colorado and all the way in the Dakota states. And so start to filter in the 20s in Minnesota and Wisconsin and Michigan and Illinois and Indiana, Ohio, and Pennsylvania. So in the Northeast, you will experience your first snowfall of the season for a lot of the areas, and I'll touch on that tomorrow in tomorrow's video and give you some of the snow amounts. But 20s look for highs coming up on Friday, potentially in some areas under a snowpack. But all the way down in the south into Texas, these are high temperatures, and on Thursday it'll be falling throughout the day into the 40s in the evening hours, and then won't rebound and won't even get out of the 40s even in Dallas. So I think even this map is a little bit overdone, but these temperatures will filter all the way down into Texas and Louisiana and Alabama and Georgia and all the Carolina states, and even down into the Kentucky. So freezing temperatures for a good portion of the northeastern parts of the United States. But this second stronger Arctic front comes in, and these are high temperatures. And again, these are falling throughout the day. So single digit highs in Montana and the Dakotas and Minnesota and Wisconsin coming up on Monday with that Arctic front. And so this will be plunging south and falling temperatures throughout the day into Colorado and Nebraska and Kansas and Missouri and Illinois and even into Texas. So you will start feeling that front plunging south and falling in the 50s and down in the 40s for highs in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, Louisiana, Alabama, and Georgia. And yes, Florida, eventually you will get and feel the effects. And these are low temperatures coming up this time next Tuesday. So this is a week out. And I think even this will be somewhat conservative because this is pretty strong Arctic, deep, cold air. And it's not going to be able to pick up in a lot of the models because it's going to be very shallow. But some of the coldest temperatures you've seen all year dropping down in the 20s. The record low in Dallas is 21 degrees. And you might be pushing that coming up on next Tuesday. But a freeze all the way down to the deep south, even down to Houston, I think. Louisiana, Alabama. Check this out. Florida Panhandle. Yes, you're going to get a first freeze of the season. Atlanta into the 20s, and these are low temperatures. So all this area will see teens and 20s for lows and experience, 50 to 60% of the country having a freeze by this time next Tuesday, and teens showing up in Pennsylvania and all the New England states. So this is some pretty chilly Arctic air coming up for next week. And we don't really rebound much too on these are Wednesday's lows. And as this cold air pushes east, you will still have some freezes in the Florida Panhandle, but again, freezes again, back-to-back 20 freezes for all the way down to the deep south in the southeastern parts of the United States of Arkansas, Alabama, Georgia, Tennessee, all the Carolina states, and parts of Virginia and West Virginia, and Illinois, all these states in the New England states, and then filtering even into the low teens and even single digits in parts of Maine. So this is some pretty chilly Arctic air, and you'll be dealing with even more snow that, again, I'll touch on in tomorrow's video. But we have some pretty chilly, even a lot of records will fall with this Arctic front coming in next week. So let me touch on winter a little bit. And this is, I kind of touched on this yesterday. So we might be setting the stage for even a stronger blast after the Arctic blast, because the leading indicator of the SOI index, we've seen back to back daily drops at -34. So there's something definitely going on. And these models will have to adjust down the line. But I'm talking, these potentially could be 2 weeks out of something potentially brewing around the 20th time frame. And this is the latest Euro model kind of picking up on that. And this wasn't nearly as aggressive of was it yesterday, but that SOI index will activate the Pacific jet. So, it's hard to verify, what could potentially happen, but this could be potentially setting the stage for a really nice nor'easter coming up between around the 20, 21, 22 time frame, something like that. And gosh, I mean, it's hard to say, but you can't roll out something going on even down in the deep south. So with that SOI index, that really raises my eyebrows and gives me, really look forward to down the line and see how this actually might play out, because we could have a 1, 2, 3 punch in November, a strong cold front, Arctic front, and then the grand finale for November with potentially this nor'easter coming up. So here's the latest Eurasian snowfall map, and I kind of look at this every single year, and this will kind of give you a baseline of how winter potentially might play out. And the results are in, guys, and we basically are the highest level since 2003 snowpack for this time of year. And so what that basically means is potentially we could have the coldest winter in 6 years since 2013. And with that snowpack, it'll just add on to, Arctic fronts coming down every so often. And here's the latest snowfall map, and it hasn't snowed in a couple days, so this will really elevate. But this is, you can see parts of Siberia and all of Canada, and even infiltrating with this western snowpack. And this will really change over the next 1, 2, 3 weeks. But this is a pretty healthy snowpack and something we have not seen in several years for the United States. But here's an overall pick and how this snowpack kind of plays out. So essentially, you have this. It starts obviously with the snowpack, and then with the combination of the winter solstice coming up, the daylight hours getting shorter, and then the combination of the sun angle will set the stage for repeated Arctic blasts coming down into the United States. And basically, what happens here is here's kind of an overall graphic where you get what they call these stratospheric warming events, where you have this sudden spike in the Arctic will cause the polar vortex to displace. And this is about a 20-day lag. So, but then that happens, that will make the polar vortex to be disruptive or somewhat split and elongate and send that cold air deep into the United States. And it'll actually at the same time make that NAO go negative, which will be that driving force. And if you have a healthy snowpack further north, it'll have less time to modify as it goes south. So when you have a healthy snowpack in October, this kind of sets the stage for a cold and snowy winter ahead. And every time we get deep into winter, like I said, my analogs were 2013, 14, 1978, 79. But, we've been breaking records, 100-year-old records, 1976, 1906, some of the historic coldest winters of all time. So, in a historic winter, you really can't forecast that, but that is not off the table with this potentially ocean water setup this year and everything that I'm kind of seeing early on. So, those analogs to me, are conservative, but I can't roll out having an historic winter down the line if this continues to see what I'm actually seeing. So I appreciate you guys tuning in. Sorry, I'm still a little bit under the weather. I'm trying to get through this, but if you did find value in this video, please subscribe to my channel and definitely catch me tomorrow, because I'll update you on the snow amounts and for the Northeast and as well as next week. And catch me in the next video where I protect you before and after the storm.